right. Good morning, everyone. It does say that we are being recording live and we are on the YouTube channel in real life. It is 9:08. Apologies for getting the meeting started a couple of moments late. We were hoping to get enough folks here for a quorum, but we are going to be shy. Let's take roll call real quick, if we don't mind. I am Kristen. I am here. Matt Herb, are you here?
Present.
Brian Woliniak?
Here.
Roy Blankenship? He waved. Lisa Chiaffi?
Here.
Rebecca Kiernan?
Here.
Jim Barry?
Present.
Our special guest stars, Michael Kelly and Giselle?
Here.
Present.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. We are missing Nazine is sick with the flu. Quiva had a doctor's appointment, and the other folks had something come up, apparently, and maybe they'll join us later. So that being said, we only have 7 people here, so we do not have a quorum. So we can discuss things, but not vote on things. We'll still go in the order of the agenda. We did not have anybody that reached out to be a part of public comment. So we don't need to do any new introductions today, unless for some reason you guys want to do that. But I think for the sake of time that we should, I guess, talk about the meeting minutes from last month. Giselle was the person that tackled them. So thank you. And obviously I know we still can't vote on it, but we can take a look at them and see if there's anything that we want to comment about, maybe if there's any changes or a new formatting option or opinion. Was everybody able to look at the meeting minutes? I'll let you guys do it now for a few seconds. Give me a holler when you're ready. All right, everybody able to take a look?
Looks good to me.
So I noticed Derek isn't here. Will he be joining meetings anymore?
I think since Giselle's going to be taking over the role with the minute taking, it's really not necessary unless there's something that we would need him for support to help Giselle. But for right now, probably not.
Okay.
There's no reason.
Good to know. So yeah, Jim Barry, we got your name spelled right. And it was challenging.
It is tough.
Yeah, so what I just wanted to point out real quick was that Giselle went in and she bolded the things that would be important relating to motions and what have you, as well as pointing out, you know, what person made the motion and if there was any abstentions as well as negatives. So yes, if there is, again, any kinds of suggestions, changes or whatever, we are at the beginning of a new way of doing this here. So please just let us know. Right, Giselle?
Yepers.
All right, so we can't vote on those minutes. But then just to let everybody know too, because this was for Giselle mostly, when we, or the people that are listening, when we have our meeting minutes, we cannot put them up until after they are voted and the changes are made. It's not something that at the end of our meeting gets put up on our website. It's something that takes a little bit of time because we have to go back and go over those meeting minutes and then vote on them. And then if there are changes that need made, they need to be corrected before we put it up on the website, just for, the public's kind of knowledge, if you will. So if no one has anything they want to add into the approval of minutes, which we cannot do, we can move on to reports, starting with Lisa.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Have a few things to report today. One that I guess forestry, I just wanted to mention that we did respond to the bridge collapse over at Frick Park. Forestry was needed to allow for crane access that needed to get into the site to extract out some of the buses and other vehicles down there. It was quite amazing to see it live. I mean, you could see it on the news and everything, but to see it live was just really quite amazing. But forestry did lend support. We were there Friday and Saturday, both days. We did have a couple on-site meetings resulting in a sort of a pathway needed to get down to the bridge to start extracting out some of the steel and other items down there. And so that involved a lot of tree removal, unfortunately. But what we did was we limited the access to the minimum amount of space needed to get equipment in and out. There was limits of clearing lines established. The trees were actually moved, and Mike can speak a little bit to this too, because he was involved with this. I was away for my nephew's wedding, but in the meantime, we had some different ways to get the trees up from the space, and they were being stored actually on the roadway there. And I'm happy to say that most of them are being relocated to a holding area which we are going to try to repurpose for benches and other items in our greenway. So we're trying to repurpose whatever wood we're able to. And then also there is a very extensive restoration planting plan that will go back into that location that we'll review with our parks managers, and that's like in the future, but it is part of all of this whole, the impacts that were done there would include a whole new restoration planting plan. Interestingly enough, they used the old pathway that they used to construct the bridge. So, some trees that had come back, that were planted back in, actually were some of the ones that were impacted again, but wasn't really too many larger size trees up in the top area as much as down on the lower end. We're working on also our spring Tree Vitalize prep. We, as a partner of the Tree Vitalize program, City Forestry is helping with some of the site preparations in the form of removing stumps and small trees and getting things out of the way for new tree plantings to come on board. We are also actively scouting out the locations for the top 10 neighborhoods that are that the Shade Tree Commission agreed to allow for funding for 10 trees to go into the equitable street tree investment plan that we're doing. So we're actively working with those neighborhood groups to do tree selection locations, and we'll be reporting back to you where those would be if you want to participate. We're also working with the mayor's office on participating. One of the things that I'm working on internally right now is updating our webpage. DPW got staff on board now that can help facilitate some of the information that we're just repopulating and rearranging some things that we weren't able to do in the past because we didn't have that kind of IT support. But now we will, and I'm excited to say that there'll be some changes to the webpage coming. And then I have a few things under canopy updates, but other than that, I think pretty much that's kind of what we're working on here, just gearing up for spring and finishing up some of our contracts. We got a couple more weeks on our oak prunings, and we're still working on that. There's a big project that's going to get ready to start up in Shenley Park. This is to make way for a stormwater project that's going to be happening across from Phipps Conservatory. So we're going to be doing some maintenance up there on the oak trees. And hey, Roy. And I think
I had a question. I had a question on the landslide that just happened in Bon Air. Is there something going on with the city and working with someone as far as, because I know a lot of that hillside is starting to slide and the trees are sort of coming down over there. Would we be engaged in sort of helping with that? Because I know that trees and the system would help hold the
Yeah.
shore that side up.
So my briefing for that is tomorrow at 9 a.m. And that'll, we'll look at what we can do to actually make that an eligible site for tree planting. Sometimes, it deals with logistics and actually being able to physically get onto the hillside and when is it safe and what engineering is involved. So, I'll have more information to report back at the next meeting, but my briefing's on tomorrow at 9. That's kind of all I have as far as updates go. So for now.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Roy. I just want to point out that James Stitt joined us at 9:17 this morning, and we now have a quorum. Thank you, James Stitt, for joining us. So, because I know that people are busy and are going to jump on and off, I'm just going to quickly say that we should probably do our stuff that we need to vote on and discuss. So maybe we table this report section towards the end of today's meeting. Maybe we change the agenda and the report section goes towards the end of the meeting. All future thoughts. So thank you, Lisa. That's amazing. You guys were able to, respond to that and try and keep it as small as possible. Roy, I didn't know that there was already a landslide, but it is the season, so it's not surprising. And I can't wait to hear about all of the restoration efforts that you guys end up completing on campus or throughout the city.
Question.
Yes, Roy. We can't hear you. Your audio is not coming through.
You guys hear me?
You're good now.
Okay, I'm to meet with Kevin Coghill today. We're going to look at the site, sort of assess what has happened and what's going on. Is there anything that I could possibly just information to try to take up or anything?
I really don't have any information to lend now until my briefing tomorrow. So.
Okay, no problem.
All right, James, were you able to look at the meeting minutes from last month?
Yeah, good.
All right, awesome. So then let's go through our agenda and discuss our meeting minutes and then vote to see if they accept it.
I can make a motion to approve.
I just want to say somebody's background is coming through. I don't know who it is, but maybe everybody should check and see if somebody else is on a phone in their room or something.
Sorry, that was me. Was my radio going? Right. Well, I think Rebecca, did you make the motion?
Yeah, I can make a motion to approve the minutes.
So Rebecca is making the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
second.
Second by James and Roy. I think both of you guys. Thanks on the team effort there. All hands up for yay, no hands up for abstaining. Everyone has their hands up, maybe. Yes, James, all of us are saying we approve the minutes. No abstentions, no non-approvals, so motion is passed. Minutes accepted. Motion to approve by Rebecca and second by Roy and James. Thank you, guys. Lisa, did you want to go any further into canopy impacts since you were just talking about Fern Hollow?
Yeah, I can just talk about a couple projects that have come across my desk. One of them is a Port Authority is working on a project to expand and renovate the busway at Negley Station. So there's quite a bit of trees there. We're trying to work on avoidance right now, doing the tree review of the survey and such. But that may involve some removal of trees over there, unfortunately. The other one is a project. It's a public housing project that we're working on. It's in Broadhead Manor. That's out towards Route 60, like right at the edge of the city. It's pretty significant. It involves about 5 acres of trees that are being removed to accommodate for the new housing that would be done in this area. So we're working directly with those developers on looking at ways to try to do some avoidance, but that may end up netting, I guess, lots of new trees for that location somehow through the alternative compliance. And then I just wanted to also update everyone on a project that we're working on in-house here with, it's over in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood on Solway Street. We have several large canopy trees that are being removed that have been we had a failure last year with one large tree. So we went back through and assessed a lot of the trees on the streets. There were some silver maples, elm trees, London planes or whatever. And we developed a very sort of a systematic approach by taking the highest risk trees as phase 1 and then phase 2, phase 3 kind of thing. And then working with neighbors who have major sidewalk issues over there and performing some of the necessary removal. So you may or may not hear about it. It was posted well in advance. It's underway now. We have a crane there. It's pretty much at the end near Beechwood Boulevard side, like the 5,000 block, 5,500 block. And so we are actively working on new street trees, new street tree planting program. We have already received a lot of tree request forms, some of those which have been passed on through forestry to as part of our Tree Vitalize applications. And if they're ready for spring, then hopefully, we'll be able to start getting some trees planted back in there. But it's going to be pretty impactful. There's probably at least 7 trees as part of the phase 1 that have been, that'll be removed. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa, quick question about that Broadhead Manor. Is that forested 5 acres or it's just trees that have been planted in 5 acres?
It's forested 5 acres. It's sort of like an extension to another property, but it's sort of like the tree portion of it is like an island in the middle of all this area that's already been cleared at some point because there was a future development adjacent to it. And I guess that clearing took place decades ago. And it's just, this is what's kind of come back in just, but one whole section of it is sort of like, a totally forested area.
So Lisa, that would be considered the Fairywood project, right? I think that's what the URA had designed as the Fairywood project.
No, this is actually the Cedarwood homes.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily think this is a project through the Housing Authority. I just think it's a private developer that is building affordable housing. And it's called the Cedarwood Homes Project.
Okay.
Actually, it's a senior center. It's a senior facility for seniors. So.
All right, if nobody else has anything to add to canopy impacts, before we go on to the Shade Tree Trust Fund update, I just wanted to point out, I think James Stitt, didn't you guys win some award from ASHRA this week for your stormwater engineering stuff?
Yeah, actually, it's Saturday is the ceremony that I was lucky enough to get tapped to be the receiving end for that. But yeah, we so the city and PWSA have combined efforts to change the city's stormwater code pretty much wholesale and update that code to reflect climate change projections in our rainfall calculations for stormwater management, which is pretty significant because every pretty much majority of all other municipal ordinance on stormwater management across the country is based on historical data, looking backwards. When we know that climate change is affecting the types and style of rainfall that we get, looking backwards really doesn't help us manage that water any better. So we used some downscaled global climate models that CMU and the RAND Corporation had done some studies on and established the regional models for us. And we're able to project out to the year 2100 and are using those projections as our storm analysis for stormwater management. And so, yeah, we're recognized by the American Society of Civil Engineers Pittsburgh chapter for the award of merit for that project, which will go a long way in changing how development manages stormwater on their sites on private property around the city for the next, dozen, 25, whatever years that it's in effect. So looking forward to that. Thanks for the note.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yep, it is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Old business. Let's bring up some old business. Do we have any old business we want to bring up? Lisa? Anyone? Roy?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that we just need to sort of focus again on our priorities, that kind of thing. So, and just sort of, set some time aside to put some things together for that. And the mayor, I guess, how we're going to go about with our meeting with the mayor. So I guess we'll talk about that later.
All right. Well, then for old business, can we further talk about everybody completing the survey that was sent out this week regarding meeting schedules? Brian set it up so that it was confidential, so nobody can get embarrassed by their answer. But this is just something we're talking about. And obviously we don't have everybody here today and not everybody weighed in on everything, but the survey was put out there so we could get more of an idea. So I think we can talk about how that survey has gone so far. Brian, are you able to bring that up, and do you feel comfortable chatting about it?
Is that up now?
Yep.
Yeah, so there were 6 responses so far. And
Guys, I never got the survey. I don't know why I can't find it.
It was in a separate email sent out Monday afternoon. I think it actually says like PSTC meeting frequency survey. If you put that in the subject line, it should pop up.
yeah, so 6 responses that you can see here. Of that, 4 of those responses were for 6 meetings per year. The other 2 responses, one said the existing schedule. The last one was an other option saying, I think between 8 and 10 is good. Should be based on planting schedule and growing season. So there's a new response in here. So thank you whoever just responded. 2 more.
Great.
I was like, I'm sending it out.
I just did it on the fly.
I'm sending it out right now, Roy.
Please, because I can't find it.
It's on its way. Forward.
That shifts the numbers a bit. A couple more responses on that 8 meetings per month. Roy, if you want to take a minute to do that, that's fine. If you can or
I'm
not.
knocking out right now.
But I do want
I
to
probably have 15 more minutes and I have to get back to my other duties.
Right. Did it come through, Roy? I sent it.
I got it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I never had this. I'm sorry.
No worries.
So some of the comments were just, I think, to highlight, there was concerns over kind of what are the months where perhaps busy with planting and such. April was mentioned. I thought a good one in here was mention of perhaps not changing the frequency immediately until we meet with the new mayor first, so that we're not sending a message that we're not willing to work. So I thought that was a good point. If you reduce meeting frequency, we should ensure committees are meeting on a regular basis. Scheduled meetings should be strategically aligned with city budgeting and city council meetings. So I think it's just kind of, there's some important factors in here about making sure we line it up right if we do this.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for reading that and some of the more comments out loud. So let's, chat. Who wants to start? Lisa?
I mean, I put in my, what I felt, and like I said, I mean, I'll go with whatever the majority of everybody feels. So, I mean, however the vote goes is how it goes. I mean, that would mean that everybody has participated. So that's my comment.
All right, well, after today's meeting, I will send out the link again to the folks that weren't able to complete it in the hopes that they respond. And then this will, hi, Jamie. Jamie is joining us at 9:30. We'll give her a couple of seconds to get acclimated here.
Hello.
Hi, James. Thanks for making it today. Were you able to complete the survey regarding meeting frequency?
You know what? I did not. I will do that immediately.
Thank you. Not everybody was able to complete it and vote on it or add their comments. So it's not anything that we'll be voting on today, and it'll be tabled again until next meeting in March, in the hopes that we have, again, 8 people that are able to be there and that we have the rest of the responses from the existing commission.
Kristen, is there anything in the charter that states the amount of meetings that we must hold?
There is, and Lisa had mentioned it, and I actually even printed it out, and it is in, I'm so proud of myself. So it is 487. Let's see, 48705, meetings and chair. Letter D, the commission shall meet quarterly at a minimum at a time and place mutually convenient for the majority of commission members.
Okay.
And that is in, it's also on our actual webpage through the city of Pittsburgh. It has a link to it. So, and it's obviously on meeting minutes information for the, another time. So that's good.
I'm totally for reducing the number of these meetings if it means that we're going to have more subcommittees and like doing stuff. Is that that's the intention, right?
Yes, that is 100% the intention.
Yeah, I think that we'd get a lot more done.
I think we get a lot more done. I think it's more mindful to people's time and experience, because asking people additional time to be on subcommittees and to chair them or do research for them or anything is, more time that you have to find. I know, we're all in different walks of life and have different jobs. I would imagine, April is a challenge for most of the folks that are actually out there doing it, because that is April, spring, Arbor Day month, Earth Day, all of these, special things that seem to happen regarding the environment all happen in April. So, that might be something to think of. Maybe having 3 Monday, January, February, and March, taking off April, then going May, June, March, April, then go May, June, July, take off August, September, October, November, take off December. And when I say take off, that is not meaning that nobody meets. It's that, you know, that month at that time, we already have it on our calendar from 9 to 10:30. So we deal with subcommittees, getting the, you know, street equity out there, whatever it might be that needs to be accomplished so that we're actually implementing our priorities that we set forth and trying to get them out there to increase the street tree canopy and the tree canopy and get everybody warm and fuzzy like we are over trees. So I appreciate all you guys voting and adding your comments. And again, we will continue waiting for additional people in the survey. Brian, I obviously don't know who did and didn't respond. So if you wouldn't mind just maybe giving me a list, or if you want to keep it confidential and you email them separately, I'm happy for whatever you want to do. And then it will be a part of our March agenda. And I also just want to remind everybody that if you guys are interested in bringing somebody in to present, you know, like last year when we had Cambium Carbon come and we had somebody come and present the SDGs the year before, we had, you know, the CMU tree canopy that Jamil had the people present. So, you know, just to let you know, that's always an option. And just like everything else, we have to put it on the agenda a couple of weeks beforehand. So just to keep everybody engaged and in the know. Cool, guys. All right, like Roy does have to leave in a few minutes. So do we have any new business before we go back to canopy or reports? Matt?
You said new business?
Yeah.
What about having in-person meetings?
Ooh.
Ooh. That could be
That was a good one.
yeah, I like that.
I am so zoomed out. I kid you not. Oh, God.
I think the tree Pittsburgh location was a good spot last time we were there, Matt. I think if I don't know how the city's running as far as we're still like hybrid at Duquesne, but I think again if there's opportunity, it sounds like a great poll that Brian could put together that we all say yes or no on.
Yes, I like that. I think that was a great suggestion. I would love to go to Tree Pittsburgh if you guys are allowing that many folks to be there. We can be outside too. We're outside folks, right?
Yeah, we have the large education center space, so we could, there's more than enough room for everybody to fit in there and socially distance and.
With masks. I hope you guys are fine with that. I'm not one, I like it. It also is hiding the tooth that I just cracked because I crack my teeth like every day. So the mask is really helpful to those of us that have teeth issues. But I think it would be ideal because I know Duquesne is not dropping our mask indoor requirement. So I would have to still wear a mask, you know, out and about. FYI, you know, so just to let you guys know, I will be wearing a mask when we are in person and sticking out my tongue. So Brian, maybe you could put that together. Would you guys want to maybe do that for March? Or is that too soon and it might be chilly because we are in Pittsburgh?
I say you put it out there and see what we get back.
All right. Like Oprah says, you got to put it out.
Oh, I can make that an option in the survey. How soon?
Thank you, Brian.
Location as an option in the survey too.
Location, location, location.
Just one quick question. As a city commission, are we obliged to follow whatever city policies are at current time on COVID and meeting in person and et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, I can check and see what the latest thing is because it changes pretty regularly, so I'll be sure to review that before I respond to the survey and let everybody know what those are. So, but yeah.
Awesome. Oh, in person.
Hey guys, real quick before I go, say if you are working for the city in a department, and I am a part of these meetings, what do you do if with your department working in the city and you might have a meeting that's during the workday? Are they lenient on that or?
I mean, if you sit on the commission, that's something I can talk to you about offline, how we've done that in the past where we've had other folks from other neighborhoods that, became city staffers. So I can let you know about that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, awesome, guys. Matt, good new business. Does anyone else have anything they want to bring up?
This is just kind of a small table. I'm not sure if this is included in this. I just wanted to say that I am still looking into the data aspect of the commission and just looking at our funds and understanding all of that. I am a little bit behind, so I am unable to present today the things that I have learned and give an update on that side of things, simply because I actually hurt my face, messed up my nose, and that took me out for a couple of days. Well, not like just 2 days, but still enough to not present something that I'd feel like is at the level that I'd want it to be. So hopefully the next time that we meet, barring any more accidents, I will have that for you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. And if you're interested at all about joining me in this fun little journey that I'm on, please feel free to reach out. If we've already met off screen, thank you for all of your help. If you want to help me anymore, please feel free. And yeah, that's kind of my update.
Thank you, Giselle. And this isn't related to what you were saying, but just remembering that we do have to, and since Lisa has been working with the website folks about making updates to our website, if we are going to have an in-person meeting, we have to make sure that we do get it up on our website. That way, if there are any folks that want to come to said meeting, they are given that option.
Okay, guys, we got to tune out.
You're muted.
I said I have to go, but I'll check into the minutes to see what else is next. Lisa, I'll talk to you a little later.
Thanks, Roy.
Yes, I love you all.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right, so if we have no other new business, we can go back to reports, if you guys don't mind. And Matt, Herb, if you're available, would you care to share? Or have anything to share or update? You can always say no.
Nothing to update or share at this time. Thanks.
All right. Rebecca, do you have anything to update or share?
Just one. Well, I've been working with Lisa and Michael on wood reuse, which has been neat. So that's exciting. And then the other thing is we got a grant as part of the Greenways project from a nonprofit called Resilient Cities Catalyst. They're the former 100 Resilient Cities folks, but they're developing a climate adaptation gold standard, which is basically lead for climate adaptation projects. So they're going to be running some design sprints with us between now and April with our working group to strengthen the projects, but then also run them through this adaptation checklist standard that they're going to be pulling together. So we're the first city to test run it. But I'm hoping that that's going to help us with some of our landslide issues in parks, so that we can really focus on how to treat, get ahead of some of those issues and treat them and mitigate the problems. So yeah, just kind of follow up to what Roy was talking about earlier. But hopefully we can get a little bit more technical with hillside stabilization, at least in our greenways, and then, you know, farm that out through our parks. So there will be a bunch of workshops that they're going to be running. They're really good at like project development. So just putting that out there for people's radars, if anybody's interested in that and wants to join. We're going to have a bunch of stakeholder workshops, and I think it'll be really good for, you know, professional development and stuff. That's it.
That sounds like a great opportunity. Pittsburgh is definitely not flat.
Nope. And they're looking at other like resilience issues too, and climate change problems, but ours is, you know, going to focus on those weird hillsides and drainage issues and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That sounds really interesting. I might hit you up.
Cool.
Thanks, Rebecca. Andrea is not here. Michael Kelly, how's it going over there? Do you have any utility updates?
We've got a few. We're coordinating with Duquesne Light on their removals and pruning for the current year cycle. They're about a quarter to halfway done with the areas we looked at this past December and January. The stormwater projects for Maryland Avenue and North Point Breeze had their kickoff meetings for this year's construction last week and next week, respectively. Will have had next week. So we're going to be out there on that. All the tree protections up in advance, and we're able to protect 2 additional trees that were originally scheduled for removal in the Shady Side project. And of course, there is the bridge. We have a rather enormous pile of logs that we were able to recover that will get repurposed into city projects, and a comprehensive inventory of all the trees that could potentially be removed as part of the project, which will be checking against their actual removals to make sure that everything that's been taken down has been captured, and anything that hasn't been taken down is appropriately noted. I would like to point out, while we're on that subject, is there was a fair amount of vandalism of trees in that section of Frick Park that I found from within the past, say, month and a half. Someone had taken a portable router and been carving messages on beech trees all through that section of Frick. I let the parks manager know, and we'll have to come up with something with the rangers. I mean, based on the cutting profile in the tree and the amount of like sawdust still packed in there, it was really recent. And if it's the tool I think it was, it would have been incredibly loud. Like someone should have noticed it. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Michael. Does anyone else have anything they want to share from any of utilities? Jim or James, Brian, Jamie?
Yeah, I just I came across the Highland Park Bridge the other day, and it's very noticeable now, the construction on the Rising Main open cut section there at the end of the bridge. But I also want to point out that, you know, we are relining and repairing that Rising Main system from the Brucken plant on the riverfront all the way up to the Highland Park Reservoir, which is about a full mile of pipe work. And the only open cut section is that section right there along the hillside in front of the bridge there, which is about 2,000 feet of it. So over half of it is going to be relined, you know, not only saving costs for us, but also, you know, helps protect the canopy and prevents us from having to, you know, cut through the woods there and do any further damage. So, you know, they're certainly working with forestry. I know you guys have been, you know, out there and taking care of that site for us as well. But, you know, just wanted to point out that, you know, the work is underway, and if you see that stuff, don't be surprised. It looks a little sketchy there when you come across the bridge and see all the equipment moving and the big pipes and the open cut.
Thanks, James. I had no idea what that was the one day when I drove by it and saw all of it. It's always nice to learn.
Yeah, that's replacing the main lines the forced mains that go from Brucken Pumping Station to get the water from the treatment plant across the river up the hill to the Highland Park Reservoir, so it then can be gravity fed out to the network in the system.
Neat. Super neat. Thanks, James. Anyone else have anything they care to share? All right, folks. Well, to save everybody some time, I guess we're going to come and bring the meeting to an end. If no one has anything else to say, just looking for someone to bring it to an end.
I move we adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you for moving to adjourn, James. And be on the lookout through emails, guys. You know, probably before the meeting more often. And I believe we have a subcommittee meeting next week to talk about the mayor. I'm going to send out a reminder email today to see if anybody's life has changed since our last talk, because God knows life changes constantly. And if there's not going to be a lot of folks that are able to join, we'll just send out a doodle poll and see when people are able to come in for that time again. Sound cool? So hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. It's supposed to be amazing on Sunday. Get outside, and as my grandparents would say, get the stink off. And look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, thanks.
Bye, everybody.
See y'all.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.